Accra Kumasi. And Naju kura de Konongwesi ma ahimache for na neba no wa wansa we chankwa nkofa Konongo Dumasi for school no mu. Ankofa sa na yes o frustrate any waka krom. Esi me sure say bana the police atimi akoko clear road no but esi. Ehwa akro no an so nipa 13 to 15 ewu ye some 2 weeks ago. Eba news mu Konongo fie. Nrechi Accra Kumasi road ya nso accident see nipa 16 ne prayer ba ku free mu. Me kan ko si say ye pe express road no nana enso yesi ebi de wenu ma na oto ayabi enti ye be hwema from nipa 15 from nipa enrechi nipa 1 near prayerfo be over 15 ye be hwema nipa sen wo for how long ko si 6 years time wa express road be ready no enti na ye stress whereas we still work on the express road no nana a national call minim sempani for na mu tie omanfo na dwenkyerɛ so de ka omo yi ho. Yes, we don't hate the express road, but nipa so nkoso engu emprasa e wo kwan ne so 6 years time na nipa di dem nipa epra no nyame amfafia na ya abro so enti ni aye kan wadaroma muntie Accra Kumasi kwan is begging for attention na mo hwe na mo nya ho bibi sisi ai pass bypass no a ekopie cement for no ho Bomfa Junction no buem ho no no. That bypass is now growing back as a forest. Erosion na road kwan na mo felewie na am senka ka krab na gumba begusu kura no. Erosion na sambo boom to kuro asama valley abedi dem as e ka se ye ko hu bi we ka e bebo no. Na se first kan nyina ato nsom. Bypass is kakra ketua bi aya wo fa nyina machi ho no a ukosi so no. First class road. Eno so ke se kodobu twam adaso ase kwan so akoko pie English ye chi na ka watwa enyinam traffic den nyina egu bypass overhead bridges ni ade ni nyina our eyes can see enti ye sha mani nyina sa ko down to the drain na what kind of country are we the kadna ye man be pa ye de ensam campfire ho sa ye ni ho hwe so ye boka ye nwene ho ehu pa say kapa ne so the overhead that leads to enyinam no a ufri anka ase a ubu curve fa ho no check the road now ubu curve siswa road aya ofa so first class. The idea was good. It takes you off the traffic. Sure. And so sabio minim ye jat ho anka uwie sa double road ne be pie New University of Energy then Esiakwa Junction ne so anaka wa fetro umfa osi no kra no akohia sa traffic na esi osi no 2 hours na ojino osi no krom enti wadaroma so mbetie yen ya. Nobody is against the express road. It is the best. It's the way forward. But while at that nanaya we can't be dying for the next 6 years. Nyame mpangu ya yisu sa kwan ne de ye nam so bia ye yemhwehwe o ba ku bia miampa me se me to mebo nanaya misro portals me type I kwan ne so brebi ntino. From that day me very careful driving. I know all the spots are potholes no want me do one there them slow down. With all my carefulness, me bahamna mu bi ma me yam shemia. No wait, me say that na me say me very careful no kra no. Chale, amna bi am bom nti mesre. Na enya national attention kra no DC is ni MC is amwo kwan ne so no. Mo hwe mo portion of the road no. Na say mo be fele apache bi kra ma yen ya. The irresponsibility is becoming widespread.
You are right.
And ensure be ase. South Forest. South Forest no a uwie ayi a uwie ensuo no a Eastern region na Ashanti region barrier no ensuo kitwa na da ho no.
Wo dey kwa Sankare na.
Na ufiri wa na wewura dade so barrier railway crossing ho no no ayi. Ufiri no pena fe wo betie si forest bi e kevi bim. Sa kevi no kwetimi kevi asa kopie in price MP Minia Davis opoku so ni ku kitu abi sa hye ho sa Kevin so ho no ehye Asante Achem South ase ehye obi ase breku ede ko ho no mansa na akọ Philadelphia for no ho no no aye ni nyina hye obi ase. If central government is not fixing the entire road, monso as local government exactly. I fall under you can do something honorable. They can do something. Intermediate enchano maybe am dey fa kan to honorable there so say just within 2 weeks ni Konongo fie, the pictures are here. ACO Konongo, the DC, the MC at Konongo can confirm to government say ni kuro mfimfini pe Nipa 13 who at the spot. 2 who can home. They reported 15 deaths. The spot of the accident is still there right now. Ewo konongufia mi de mi twemu mi ko to accident ne so. And enrechi ya so obakwa wu nipa 15 ne pra enrechi ya. Enti 6 years for multiply we say nipa hin ne be wu ansa na yewie ayin. They should do something about it.
Say ya na enchobo na ewo kire ni nti o. Eno nti na akwan ho asem o man we no kan na che say wabre because me aka akwan ho asem akwan no say you to kwan
yes
to kwan prof utu kwan a sabi uko UK kwan dada na ho no say omo person omo ye nfoforo a omo di bi begu so omo waawai
yes
ba ye ha
yeah
contractor I just obe why contract ne
kakra obe waawai ni
no na ebet me a balloon we in
price no.
What is the message? So at the end of the day, no, ye di ye ho bro. Eti obey we no kwan so share kwan thickness ah. Kiti.
Yeah.
Ensure to ya ka kese fa so na ni nyina esi. Eti ya kwan sem no de say ya nya deliberate about it. Now say ye pe asphaltic roads in this country. Now say debia no ye be ye fofra ye be wa so there. We also have a long way to go.
Na no social media na mrante bia why kwan na kitom to say plate bi o ma why e dey chrome ni ade
na me say mre bi contractor bi ye kwan sa kwan na ewiabo a kwan ni timi hu ti say balloon enframa na kwan na se no na me nim ba bi osuan engineering work you see but ye tua nika
yeah of course
Sanya ma we nyina yaka ho asemo in fact Kumasi and crime Quantimpo no dear second largest
arguably the busiest road.
It's supposed to be the busiest. Hey,
okay. Road engineers this morning.
Nana, what mommy antenna hosa. Antenna footro nim sa. Na ko mesam footro pa de akwa kogu panyini bi edan anu amana hu se ekwan no so omfa so bia ye de ye fa so
cousin fear and panic sa charge bi na the boy run no that so dem no kan e den Camila no Camila that so dem oh nana ya for every single day that lady stays in prison I weep for this republic me re ho say nana for some reasons oh, Nana, I have my reasons why for every single day.
No, but Nana, is that when you are gagging free speech, which is fundamental, a writer, Ubia enjoy. Inti say free speech is abaya no na no kra ko traso a. Inti aso twen kesiese near the man. Oh, you know, Nana ya. In fact, selective application of law in this country, no. Emboa will be biao. Say koto de ne bodwa nyanyanche de onko. We in this country, ne nkrofo egu nipa bi hu fi keka nsem akese to won so trete wo mu. Ba biza hu say e bia once e wa na bia ba ko bi de asotwe aba ama no. But the na de akoye te say o kasa na wo hwe wachi. Apostles of democracy NDC foi asem ne ye kan you enne o mama o my Ghana che say oye o sori kra na ye mahyew I don't know me npa bone for see enti o mo beg e say ba bia democracy adri mo mpese ni pasa be kire o mo adwene wo man we mu mo mpese nipa be kire o mo adwene
na se na ya we mo me nya badaye kakra eye obi ba anka obepene me adina kotum
I don't know Biba.
Now Babesia what me use konkodua oba akanim mpre a chese said o musi twitwa no na sebi woye nipa ansam na ye kan yo oba Babesia pa memma timi the bet timi the bet e twitwa na man the body obi amoma che na wie e na de ye me time kra so ba ko ekoso ne say some of the police officers no say the accused person be equal. Look at the one handle no. Ni ye twetwe ha ni atwe ha. Ni ye mia na no se so by tan forever. Me dwene ho amenti ase.
Oti ase so wa nwene.
Na yaw. Eno so ya eno so frihini. Na ye wo say yes ye pia se ho ye omotan. What is that? Professional police officer who handle accused. Nipa Nekra has not been convicted. Now who handle in a manner highly humiliating.
Not any prior conviction.
And very embarrassing.
Yeah. Anyway, I heard the work table no start paying now. It is what it is.
The cardinal.
Prof.
But I insist for each single day a rano a besimitim so the prison for this. I weep for this republic. Make us say much penny be penny ka say over Prof and can say we 24. Did you get it? And can say me 24. Senior, why na what is o to e binumu for? Hey, and a binum kwan here foot and a binum de here foot.
So we because I buy a crack of bisa and an role model. Kevin Taylor.
Be there.
I
don't want us to go back, but
and someone I
don't know be there and no be there you who say yeah nine. What kind of visual separations are I don't know. And to me there penny for 80 I'm bet me release lady no. Me name how family life her family life name ma or one
no
yeah, but for every single day that lady stays in prison, I insist I will continue to weep for this republic. There's a mobro phone because why you mobro come
on my penny extend presidential pardon to Yenua Bay. Why? Yes, sir. Na fe de asem no kra time o man panyin na nkasa kra no cassette am crofo e wo kromu ha ni nyina ye de che no what dey mecha you see where's be emro call parliament ni nyina ye de che no enti edru ba bia we should tamper justice with mercy
na mebo
no ya twina so kakra yenja yenua
another question near organizer no yeso akokasa ti Bawumia na Dr. Bawumia say ono you're interested in that case. And you're giant and answer on so changing and nipping interested from prosecutor. No.
To be honest, maintain
the update on that case. They should leave that gentleman and leave that gentleman. Sabi Obia Wonidin or Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Din, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so you're interested in the case. You get it? Munja no tell you say no.
They should
leave that gentleman. Honestly, we are
trained there.
Please.
Minimum
punishment. Nana, if they should prosecute that gentleman, I'll be sad for this country. If they don't release the Camilla lady, no, I'll continue to.
No. Because sometimes out of frustrations, no.
Prison chrono is that where they are hurriedly putting the lady there over this? Prison chrono and so prison for the let's be sensitive, kakra, let's be passionate, kakra as a people.
Mate, Madam say Professor Sarpong and Honorable Collins Usaman, I heard him say Honorable Bernard the Bedi Akon Beidu, Ebaba can't you want Aquatia
B3.
But you're trying to say B3 Baba can't Yansano. Rani,
yeah, Nana.
Me no shots here. Me ma 15 minutes. And name a good table no so no. Pacho, the opesa can be within 15 minutes. And I'm rano so say woka say obi any ho kwan so bam just me. Enti sa so na obi so kasa.
I just say wo.
Ai. Me pe and I'm asa time na media. Let me crack at just na ko mention no. And so be den.
Ayo. For democracy nya djuma ofia any be hadwene say democracy ni via hapa dia any be hadwene
da be media na nya absolute democracy Mr.
Anyway say
Randy start
no ya that sorry ya fe ya say ya boka gu 93 million down the drain. Court of Appeal acquits former Maslog boss, but AG heads to Supreme Court. Nana yaw. Na watwi de ope court wa gini din pa wo ewiase mu ha Court of Appeal Ghana.
Ade.
Hey, Nana yaw.
Collins.
Chese ensem no me de meti ye na nkasa no meti apai me aba besi ne. Na bisa me ho se. Hey. Wo ma yenhwe niam yi. Yenhwe niam yi pa. Attorney General there well experienced legal practitioner, academic, politician, or a former senior colleague in parliament. sabi Zuarungu abrantie abogatanga na obo ne bra wakosku onimde na me kenkan judgment no madine ho yaw kakra na yaw amadie no min komu bebre na emumu no mesrese Supreme Court no de nko njai na yaw
are
cause 90
the cause 90 is saying
na yaw I'm not a legal practitioner except to say me a paralegal na say court acquittal discharge obi na in criminal jurisprudence asem na making you na attorney general say kwa ko overturn this decision. I don't think say is known in criminal jurisprudence except to say civil law and sadie no be no ewum nti maame no so na ye criminal charge in ye debbo no di be cost 90 me from where I sit me gitum say attorney general na nkasa timi identify on record say ensem na omona state na the ball maame no na incomplete dia na wantimi am fill in and now one draw court no attention say we any defects are detected based on records now we ja ho na say judgment aba na ya acquittal maame na discharging the dia me mesre say attorney general say use taxpayers money ko file bibia enko bibia because o kind said almost eye boapaye say ye kwan be na be fa so maame na be free no enti no ye ma tokro bi medo na maame ne mfa mu pie na mumu no de ha me ne say 93 million okay can nyina akra bomu a odim say cost implication is I think is more than 500 million. Yes, more than 500 million. Ghana city nyen kwada sika na ye ka ho asem nti sa 93 million no nyina say ye pese e kire say ni nyina no ko waste na asem na da ho na yasem kase o enti sika fa maame no sabi ne nsem a ya ka ho asem ya kantamanto emeyi ejahyehe wo mu sika ya maame ekodi maame hu a ya ka ho asem ye o mantima nkyere ba bi asika no eko account ekotu mu ene ba bi ekodi ye no enti ye ja ho saa na enti maslo sika o mede ko Batampa Microfinance Company Limited no maame no odinsi hu kase a microfinance for no ka se omuntimi enu nti no nsa magi sika ne back no se sika no a omudi gu Ghana must go mu ehia no bacho na no se sika no ye hunu bio no se sika no so no ekwa na asembe na ye ka ne krom ha sei enti say ya quitting na discharge ne kra na sika sem ne so are we saying say there were no procurement breaches? In fact, and some no akoso no court of appeal. Asem na no di on. So try judge no. What na say edi asem no. Wa bregu. Ati ase. Say opro didi a onwam so didi. Anonymous appeal this morning. Say Sedina Tamaklu Ationu Ationu Edidia ya regional chairman won to me so Edidia because e didn't na make cancer it's so sickening say Obako die onumpo die enyo onu ankasa na directly oko engage in sa illegal mining no. Na emumu no yesi wakofa aban to me kakra. Akọ transfer mineral right no ni sell to me no. Enu nti onko afiase 20 years. With hard labor. Na kwan yo mo fa so try chema won to me wo kromo ha no. Nana yawo. Usain Bolt echen wo mo che o mo se ogina field etumrika na sɛ onya tracks etumrika na sɛ wohwɛ sɛ ekwan a expeditious trial omo di ye regional chairman efem wo kromu ha edru baabi a kyese court no kra break kra ko didi kra otimi se de aduane to omo a kyese ekwan bia so e wo se chairman asem no ye di ntem so ye di ntem so ye boa ne kumfo ye de na kwa akotwiri mu 20 years ye ma me se dinam same court no competent court of jurisdiction etna nasem so court no started di nasem no adru baabi ye ma me se ne ho dodo no nti okohwe ne ho yare okọ United States of America ne ho to no nyina na wo ho wa amabio wa amao appeal no woni timba wa amao o twen se na ban ene ne party beba abam ene maami aban NDC ne wo ho ne party ena ewu oman we ne se ni nti no akwa ba se ono nso so 10-year jailer sentence court no de man no high court de man no ene court of appeal say a wasted can say resources say court no betina so be canin sem 78 counts ni nyina onkofie sika no batampafo sika ye kodi ni wonyina maame ni nkonu nkonkodi maame no say yes yegna acquittal and discharge ne de Prof sa decision ne de ba dia ene de na chese woni obi ani asem woni obi ani asem obibia mu woni obi ani asem obibia mu it is say no na wo hwe 3-member panel na court of appeal be share omudin Justice Emmanuel Ankama on the preside here Justice Samuel Obeng Diewu and Justice Emmanuel Senior Amedahi. Yes, we money ekuku damu omotena asem ne so wo money PM fo a omotena asem ne so na me hwe Emmanuel na anam se ampa nyame ne ho ampa because hwe se the decision na bana onyame ne maame ne ene wo sisi a chese edi asumdue sonko abre no na emum amagana no ekwan a NDC for the amagana efa so no asefem ekwan a ban we de omagana efa so no asefem ekwan a owura mahama ban yi amagana omu evrepi amagana ehye na ne ya no ano odin papa say 93 million cedi down the drain just like that sikano nyina ekọ so are we saying say ayampa say time wa mama ne kwaji sikano every say microfinance ne ho no say sikano anko account biam na momo yi cash omo withdraw cash ene de mama me no ti say sikano hini ne kosi ye asam we de etwa so ntwa yo mom yenhwe wo ye o sen pon court no de be na court say omo akwete na discharge no na emumu no say fine bi kra attached to her in at least meka say Ghana sika bi akọ ye no yensa ka sika no kakra but here we are sika ni nyina court of appeal say oh ma me no fa ne hu nkodi ni nyina kan sesem ma me anya ne ho tam ebe sponsor NDC party tam ewo kromu ha all because court to say on fa ne hu nkodi na emom sika sem ne de bibia ne yenka ho asem bio a ye gya ne nyina de manyankopon wo kromu ha ye gya de manyame na kwan ya NDC for the Ghana for bi nam so yimu a ekoso in a legal you can say justice system asefim highly pathetic koto de ne bodwe ye nyanche de onko ene wasemba etimi hwedin NDC ne eno an say attorney general file nolly prosecute kona ko didi ye jao aben yi ba ye ono an nkrofo susu so mo ye ne party madie wɔgyae wɔn mo dodoɔ na wɔgyae wɔn mo ɛnɛ ambodi NDC foɔ wɔ kurom a wohyia NDC ni biara kyɛ sɛ wotea no koraa wɔntie adan a court no gyina yɛkyi saa suban wei ɛyɛ suban a ɛmoa ɛyɛ suban a in fact prevent even investors from investing in our economy. Say, hey, why lies the justice? Say me be investment kura na say aban yi the selective application of law na ye adwuma dia. Ene say ne baby a me free ba no, me sika kam kura ye mfa mame. Enti aban no wonhwe niema yi o. Wonhwe niema yi. Mesre Attorney General say ye nyina ya gye atomu say Sedina Tamaklu ya maame no onko fie sika fa ne nsem ene afoforo bi conspiracy to steal na mo sa charge ne say e stealing na ne nyina ye kan nsem ne nyina wie ye nenne court of appeal say ye free maame no say ye sika sem na ye kan dia ene obi also koye adwuma bia yesu say wonya sika free mu no ene say nipa no so ye free na justice for all if not to dia ene mesre. And this is for any moral right be say henceforth omo be chastise MPP ni bi anase people perceived to be opposition members say omo din semone because what is good for goose is equally good for the gander. Now say koba say ya na ye be kono dia ene where is law of equity? He who scores for equity must come with clean hands. And someone this for can ye anti-corruption. Ye ba ye be yesi. Sika bia e kodi di nkrofobia no mo wo NDC aban dada ni mo afa o masa aba no enne me ne wo ka say Attorney General Jani 2 mean so any also a member but a minister for justice enti no and Attorney General enti wo ye cabinet minister cabinet ehia cabinet adwene ho say obi oye NDC ni bia ye hwe na ye na sem no ye mfa nche no ye de asem amanyame wo kromu ha ye de asem amanyame na ye nyina ye wo kromu ha so because ana ye wo man mu ha e kwan ya mafa so a mo eye justice for say no mo ma ye hwe niam ye o mo ma ye hwe niam ye elsewhere e chebufu da ko ebe me nipa ni bi aka say aden enough is enough intention no e doso e kwan ya mafa so a mudin yi mu ena ebu man no e doso aban yi din semoni bebre okokan ya na omatikokum acha se sei ena yebeti na kromu ha dia na sei ena aban yi ba be ye pa ha dia then we have a long way to go. So to the best of my knowledge henceforth Samu kasa bebre na we diska na NDC for no munyaka. Munni sa moral right in bio. Munyaka. Because a court of appeal decision by me hunu mo comments. Suddenly much shifting goalposts. Afa mu defend this and Attorney General Dadano did shoddy job. But the question is new Attorney General so by or detectives say claims including records no incomplete and also so no what do you have to say and then people are just being hypocritical and pretentious in this country, especially NDC, because nya chun any ekwanya mo faso a modi nipa bi e faso no anodin
pastor TC akasima ba ko ne fa
anodin na yo and TikTokers say ye profile oni ahwe account ye hwe account ye hwe baby a wo free ba ye hwe previous post a waye wo ho a na ye send you message wo ho a na ye threat bi mu na wo ye bechew ni o mo jai NDC foi e ka o mo se ba ko bi boy bi a odo na no si ye flag bearer so Dr. Mamadou Ba mi o kaseti ano da bia abrantie no o makochi o no je se mo pese mo dey equalize ye crofo na je se ade na is 10 against 1 mo chi ye crofo du na mo ache mo de bako mo nya se su by tantan no mo pa mo de mo chi ye nkuje nyina ngum mo arrest all of us. We are sick and tired of saying next week ye bechi we aden we are building a nation, we are building a country. Eti mo ma ye hwe ne ma ye power transient NDC would never be in power forever. And he said, "Ne." And a President Kofoka was say power you tricky because of say Ghana for to Abama and then almost 2 tests. I think they are even 2 tests in Parliament, absolute majority. So now no. What dreaming is all about power, and I'm more yet the mope. Now, make us same way. Say Ghana for will regret giving absolute power to NDC. Shanyama Modeba. Na ya maso na momuno nanaya me de mano baza constitutional review no.
Onya time pacho mamen komransa. E ko ba na so benya constitutional na. Me cancel so about betrase. And I'm about cancer charge because I saw Quacotia no yimi eja no qua for quan no co. Quatia didn't come no cancer.
When some crum went you.
Or very good.
Yeah, I'm there.
Now what is it?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Pass on so here.
Oh, Yanko Patum. And say, Nema, we tiamin in your face. Yes,
that's all you say, me nobody.
And I say, there be our dim. So, heritage assets, no liability. Yeah, Papa, and body, you don't have
They got now. US for any so mutio, Massachusetts for no mutio.
Yeah, Mama Chano pay. Yeah, Mama Chan. Cousin. And you egu me pronso make ho asema no pay and I said now asemi e wa ha Supreme Court no more delegate system and so wa ha AGC presidential term na e 5 years no aban pen so and so e wa ha say issues nyina ada
me na make say no
bacho wa
say fit ma ba make come thought bu
me bacho me pese miti
so pese me kasa oh no problem any problem
pese miti wa adwen kire was
you see
in the next 15 minutes bacho
me da say na say come no yen 20 na me ma preliminary way ni kaka
so
20
o dem the 2 account I 17
we shira mpo awi na say who ni problem bia you see me chia patch ya etiefo ne ahwefo ene me pepo a you ma bi shia wa the chia me kromfo akwetiafo nso am so omutie opa
million so
na akwadum market women
uni mo mba on no na Thursday a omo ye market day by na no mo ho but ente se dwada na nkasa ti ye chia umpa akwadumfo ana ba no enkomo ketwa bi a mete bebre but kakra me pese me put in the proper perspective na ye tie ho ase no enye eye se oman democracy niema democracy fapem ejina yie eyesi ye gem ready near dem ra ye adwuma rule of law e frankomo a onsem good eponso nia no e ka no bi empempi no niema hu ne se ase se ye shada dia na no asamba nia ye ne se ye play on the keyboards of people just emotional blackmail ni akeka na sa ni eko but me susu se nye se yebetena fidie su se ya titiriw ni so nyankopon aye adom na ye ya krachefo ni nwrafo kakra ni ye ba be kirekire nsemu ama me nana me maame na na bia ma wo achimta krase beti ase na wahu se eni akoni ya na ya di no kra ma ye ho sa yachi we yenya no ifri he e bada ben sa kasa nkofo ka any ade da bia maka na afidie so and I'll repeat it because they keep doing it so much that dia ye brana na do danko Akufo-Addo as Attorney General President Akufo-Addo so and no take steps immediately as after mobile power and no co repeal sections what yan criminal code criminal libel and no repeal na na do danko Akufo-Addo ehu section 207 and 208 no I know a offensive conduct and then false publication but na do jawo wan fa no sanka mo MPP for kasa mo kenti and amenso mede na na do abem no nya twom ne doso na na do a repeal criminal libel no oja section 207 air force publication your friend is saying offensive conduct and 208 offensive conduct oja wo say yam fanya adwuma. In fact, ne penso ya chi nipa. Ye jeli nipa. Oheniba Buama was jailed for speaking one kuku nipa one tresekan. Oh please,
Attorney General and a Yemra, not Parliament.
Collins.
Yeah, you say wow.
Okay,
why na Yemra?
Mati.
Council.
Attorney General and a Yemra and then your Parliament dia Mati.
Council.
I will be so surprised. Say as a former member of Parliament, Obetra Kasa Attorney General and a Yemra. LGBTQ na Attorney General impact. Mama kwai. Me say a state, you know, and now so would and you know this. No, this we can't do this. State, and you know I know better. You know it, so stop it. State, you know, in PMP and sponsor bills. Okay, of course, yeah, there is also the private member bill, but the state often and the state sponsored the bill. And then another Danko Kufuor was Attorney General. Echo repeal criminal libel. 207 and 208. But once a son. Nebres or the Yajuma Chinko Fukruma. The Central Forkan. Yachini Pagum. A jelibi. The record is that Oheniban Buama was jailed. Then this year press conference. And then hypocrisy. Gana Emodia. Ade. Because Yachi MPP. Oheniban Buama, Yachen. What is that this in a press conference? Ye jelly in Chroma. What is obi a demonstration? And then ya chom no. All because there's obi MPP ni oye bone dia and dia yenchira and then the young says I'm running. Say nya ye ni ayenka, but it's not as if say no be use. Because in any case, me imagine me nka da say na do dan kwa kufa na me achi ohene ba Buama. Ohene ba Buama den no ye. Asem okọ kan ne say onu ni onim ne say Supreme Court for be ma judgment a omko tie fi akufu ado ho. Na asem okan wan twituo wan tweseka ye jeli ni kroma. E den nya atwom no. Sa abre na mo yi. Iti enya yen kosesa mra no. Ni enia ye hu se we are starting afresh. But mo bi me magina me ka say ababa wa yi sem okan impugning criminality on the president. You say atemdidie keke. Criminality, me person me can say ni bi wa on the president and we sit here munjano if you have na muhui me eni nkomo see hwe enne and again it's linked to in some night dedwan. I'm so surprised that some people only understand criminal justice and as a justice to mean say omunkrofo e free debia. And I say, obi kokota at all costs as jelino, according to your perspective. And with the greatest respect, judges me and son at Transam, so John Dramani Mahama on count. Me am Tia me NDC ni men count. Judges ne move me no nanado danko kufa na appointee on court of appeal. Okay. Say if this is Nemo Kadia, there's a momo brace on judges now influence your manner. Why are we doing this to this country? If this is the benchmark, I'm say Judge Dia somewhere say your president in Ayadia and your bra Mujeli said in Amno. Muchmuko who high court judge nana. Prof, what in the American say? Let's stop this. Let us stop this. So if more person would say judge be my decision and your president now sma judge and so on and your namusuko high court judge and no jelly mamino. Sir Judge, you know, High Court Judge under your tenure, and man judgment free there. Other than court of appeal, 3 wise men. And you at the end, you say, President, I. And then you are no. Me, a lawyer. I don't want to go into them, even though I have my, as a lawyer, a trained lawyer, maybe, as I'm a MP, now me whine dining or court. Me name and my personal opinion on the matter. And I have all the decisions. High Court, yeah. Court of appeal, yeah. The your friends saying submissions made by the learned Attorney General or the opposite any you can say mamma so lawyer stroke marking kind in here but then yamen advocate mamma lawyer and may but to drag a binary also a debate and seminum as a spokesperson for the government I would dispel it in a day and then they see mammy yadin some tone so and I saw send yadin some token of free atas wound to me so sad started me investigate you mammy no ha and now yes charge sheet against her yade call court ni no ha ye di na semwa no court de bia ko si say osre court say the home fan opeso to kwan when you get it or stray court and a court granting these are facts the order is there and now okoye no wa man ti court two assembly shada no mountain kan om no ombisa ne lawyer ntimi nka asem papa bia ye mra mu nso no because you are put on notice we are aware see ye di wasem it is until nkan hu ne ye odia and attorney general at the time activate your friend is saying the provisions of trial in absentia and the court admitted it and a trial in absentia the course. Let me also state and for those omwa any pebia chatratcher or mas and lawyer of course. But let me state to be on him criminal procedure near ye bian. Say o lawyer o lawyer no you so cross examine state witnesses no. A brief one say o kawase man your lawyer na catch. It is all criminal trial bia ye bisa attorney general no state no dey prosecute the case into ordinary na dance for beba. Ordinary dance for ba omu gina da kem kan masem dey na the witness statement na ye. So omu wi a o lawyer for be cross examine. Say ye wi bibia ke judge no e wo asede so be prove say ana obe ka say o wo asema no yi ana say oni asema no yi. It is all asema no yi a na say yakatcho say baby opinion defense. Eti maame na breso ya say yeso yo asema no yi no opinion defense no ni ho no abeka na say. But court no was satisfied say ebra ye ma wo se cobra no wa ma nti etimi di wasem ene ye di NDC anye press conference NDC anye let's get the facts right. NDC ango release state one anye demonstration because emra na say ye na adwuma kosi so obo ye trial in absentia maame ni ho ne di asem ni wie jeli no NDC anye de bia because President Mahama Gidi say osomo a eso obu akonta obi ankasa okroma oti on chairman NDC ni ba ko oyi press conference ene ye jeli maame no ene ye eti baby ene omo take steps for years no omo jeli no as at May 2024 ene maame ne lawyers President Kufuor so ti akonya so ene maame ne lawyers file notice of appeal no and maame metie frontier says enya President Mahama ba ye and ama maame ni take advantage and I will explain to you ni enti e cheye and throw no do so do maame ni file notice of appeal in May 2024 and I Godfrey Damie Attorney General and I'm so surprised some who statement be a Godfrey Damie release or see no nim in fact so see no nim that you be the most incompetent Attorney General because a lot of things happened. Or finally, the state also filed a document. What kind judgment? And read the judgment. No. What kind judgment? Now, Court of Appeal for STT. I was paragraph 35. Let me read it to you. On bachelor on your course. Mamin can be a mechanical. Only ye. Mamin file notice of appeal. No. And a state, oppose car say or your fugitive. Only Ghana, you heard him for you, into only right to sort of file appeal. They had to go through this. The court had to hear the matter, not determine, say, indeed, as a appeal. So that is what delayed the thing. Because there was even a preliminary issue of whether Mamini betting I appeal or not to be there. So read 35. Me, I knew about it, but we are seeing Court of Appeal also even mentioned it. And they dealt with it in the 94 and 97 PJ. Also, the respondent's preliminary legal objection, respondent the estate, or Court of Appeal is dealing with it. My lords, I previously mentioned the respondents raised and contended a preliminary legal objection in its written address. Omuye yan omtro address no some state wom say maame no need right so be appeal because of a fugitive of justice. And this is what the Court of Appeal said about that matter. The respondent asserted that the appellant was a fugitive from justice who had absconded from the jurisdiction of this court and consequently was not entitled to invoke the appellate jurisdiction of this court to challenge a conviction and sentence. It's not law. But I know the all kind of it. But this means said there was an earlier contention. Some crony rights obey appeal. And the Attorney General is saying you him. What? Was you him? So let's stop. Me and some nibebre because if you tell me, and the Court of Appeal dealt with it, say, okay, so be a cause financial loss to the state. Now, minor risk. This woman never was the one that paid the money. My no 2 years cano. So sign contract now, and you're not done for Kufuor buying and a bit 2 years cano. So the Court of Appeal is saying that the ingredients in proving say obia more minor risikano and we pay. This is what the Court of Appeal is saying. Omunim chen yan ti he nia wo mrem. Enti omo say no, the ingredients no enkowie say what sign agreement. Ekowie ni tua no so nya maame ni tua. Say if there was anything wrong with it, whoever paid the money should not have paid. This is what the Court of Appeal is saying. But in the learned Attorney General currently inherited a assemble was serving notices on the Court of Appeal and Yadrin. It's your Beko Supreme Court. I hear so be settings. Really? In fact, as I speak to you, I file a notice to stay the execution of the judgment. Actually, say near court Kasi enjoy Mamma Attorney General said no on Peneso. Now they no cast or yes on can here. Court na kasan TNT baby. But Attorney General so on Peneso. Let us give him the benefit of the doubt. Indeed, you are to forcing a trial. Our High Court. A black court in a catcher and so or case to answer. Case to answer no or we no. Or no kwaya appeal say only case to answer only a court in Yadrin. Or Koyan Court of Appeal. And near Yura at to force in Yadrin say he doesn't have a case to answer. And then another Danko Kufan. And also John Dramani Mahama the Court of Appeal judges. Look, and Nansenya. A special prosecutor say me. Attorney General view about special prosecutor. Supreme Court and should be down. Do you know the number of cases Attorney General will well lose to a court? Because judiciary no ultimate chairman on Becca. But in this case, me makase idea so key was idea we no. And said the woman was not heard. But in your court in inform so let me stress it. As a lawyer, me jitum say in your court in inform so. But the fact that in yemu no, maame no yantie nasem. Enti near your kagu ni so near to say na kendi trust me. And say bebre kafa ken hotra. So be jina da kem say nya ni nya na ebeti approve. Ebeti kura ba say ni nya no kre. But in the meantime there you can say 100 count, 500 count. By depending your opportunity, no so can I say more. Now better not say, Mammy, it is on record say she was not heard. Near your can our first why you say, and I'm surprised. Say ne, me have 90 million, then and no onyane. In fact, one of the cases I American say, Sikana Casa Crown of your contract in Rio Obi ne how do you say Mammy? It is a Sikano, say no person or Chessa Sikano, Mamma and Afadia, and you could be sad you cheer Sikano, and you can furiata. And a fight. I've 2 minutes now, the man when I started. Where the audience area coming 2 minutes. So what I'm saying is that Yantias, yes, ye de Emran a teacher of mine. Say Obi and a Casa Court of Appeal, Prona and I wound to me, after you're convicted no, or so your Emrano na Juma. It is a one to me in TV. He has not your Court of Appeal. We wish him well. Maybe I said Court of, and they have so much confidence or Court of Appeal. Musa want to be a bit free. And into your assessor grounds of appeal be brave. Say court in any yard junior Jana or Mephi. Sicilia da pass ya chi obi tum keke by the mere words and honorable teha can say a wafesika Sicilia da pan called them 1,000 years. Emrano Yasana Yajuma. Said Biara, at the end of the day, you have to prove it. The person will have his day in court. Say, you can't say, Ghana at 50. You think Chrome has say, Minkai, you rap a jump, your friend is saying, Tarzan. And then Anthony Chroma. But you do any they went on appeal and had it all struck down. Yes, Jessica good polity muniese, Omango free. And will be a day. Emrano, I told the just would be out Timrana, see, I'll be who send you pretty. If you had sent your own man, and yes, I net. It will be quite the back down court, Africa court, and baby, no. Aha, Ankoye, a bassa. You're right, you know. Yes, I'll be appealing, which the Attorney General is doing. So appealing the Supreme Court, no, say, Nyombe Kenya. We all near Nia try, baby. But to say, and I'm surprised no more can ask some impugn by, but no more attacking judges, no, because John Dramani Mahama, Sabi no namni baby. Oh no, and you know dear Samuel. Ethiop near dear someone who can ask them, warning. Are you warning the justices of the Court of Appeal?
Mammy for the Academy Prof. No, yes, sorry. 2 grammars.
Yapon say.
So I'm under.
And never to
and some doors. One month away a preliminary you. One month, Miss and Nadia, my brother. My neighbor, Kofi Kumbilson. I said, holiday. At the moment, Nadia, my young Juma will, Mr. Prof.
Mazapo.
Yes. quickly presidential term yes 5 years margin mu no unse wa 1 year no yetimi de ya na fe abehye gu na ka 3 active years me sure say no na ye nkomo ama prempe committee nso e de 1 year bi aka ho drobeji wa trema president obebo adwuma no in 4 years obetimi abo president omo adwuma no ma 10 years kra omo adwuma enti media metwe aban ene aban ahodo ebebe akire na dwen se we go through they shouldn't think that they have a certain plenty time obeka to eni at na 5 years na so omo obibi mo manga na work must start from day 1 mo ye campaign na mo planning ni nyina you should plan from January 7th and 8th so ne be ya you will not see say your time mu na your train time mu na obeka to eni at na 5 naba chief justice term 10 years is better wanya na konya chief justice bi no ye younger na yes okotena so until 70 in so che to emu eyi hwa say be o reforms bi ma judiciary no a they say within 10 years do it and then do it well and go ministerial appointments you see a capping at 60 for me is good but the current situation here one no meaning lawyer wa ha na say whatever the consequential effects of everybody say kind na say mu be trash emu a omunye clear is it ministers ni yefa 60 and say people of a ministerial category and 60 because we are saying near 5 ministers 60 near another 60 appointees they have everything equal to a minister and almost to ya omo this omo that you get it that's my warrior going forward me say me hu capping it at 60 is fantastic but is it the case say be cap 60 now if you are CFO bi appointees bi pseudo deputy regional ministers bi spokesperson bi a obehwe monument mu no no ye ni minister de eye pepepe de name say minti de ye ko enim me say un de clearance beba ma ye hu but me kai bia na kosa prempe committee na say government benefo asi akodi omo ho ni tia omo clear ho ne ma ye e free December 7th by November 7th and our first week of November I think it's fine na transition period near too crashed especially run of crack or Bermuda there's virtually just about 2 weeks for government, a whole government machinery to hand over and as a do transition. I can't be anymore and so old conversation I'm say Abba. Dual citizenship Sebe Ode Bernard Bediako and now Ode
Collins
Ousua Bankwa Nese Kobase Okita Germany citizenship Sebe now in Germany ni dia denso mu adi mfie wo hakura na denchem kwa den ne kan say yampa so boa me so boa o se kokobu bibini nko na wo kokobu boni ni bi o ye den a o ye bibini e na pa die ni ne ma bi na ma obi e ko fa foreign citizenship de ka na ayu mesre ho so mehwe say senke beba no na caveat bi hihiem say even for the positions of members of parliament then yes dual citizenship made no it depends on who record so you see I need a certain intelligence officer macro chrono we still can't trust you with some classified information for the offices we are going to 70. I'm looking at saying wholesale say we are dual citizen keke you say even dual citizen performance when now you the other country no a bit me put in security never be at a certain position of compromise ni na me death penalty there sabi obi akran fa nya adwuma pen and parliament na equal 300 MPs. Is it the case that the 276 will be elected?
Yes.
And then the remaining 24 will be selected, appointed? And are we selecting them or appointing them?
They will come with their modalities. By the time they will see the disability,
yes, women, and then some special I'm sure say we wait for the to but mean that who need
to but them some no be your modalities they are restricted. It should only be these people. Because I appointed why modality
the issues kakra banti in say they will clear all those things for me. That's my take on the
but I'm sure said your number of seats are Ubenya no and na Ubenya Sakota no
Well, when they put the modalities
what I suspect rather than say no, is an UBN, but with ABI part 20, man say when we PPP new, what matters is that you should be within SOE, be a woman, disability analysis. I think that would be fairer because you see. Let's also be careful. There would surely a brief implemented and there will be a regime in place. Yes, if it's not clear enough, we better so be a gerrymandering, which may not go.
And we will seek those. I will rest my case on that first part. Second part, delegate system there. May try ruling next week Wednesday. No, I'm still convinced. Say delegate system be inherent and natural. If for some reason we are going to take away delegate system at a point, then we must be ready to do the things and do them right. Now, I made the Achumango be just out in the example. Voters, registered voters, over 150,000 plus.
Yes.
If I say a stronghold of the MPP, about 100,000 of them, if they choose, can register as MPP members. Now, Moko delegate system and about 1,300 people in the Tuaba.
Sure.
Okay, Prof. Sarpong.
Yes, sir.
I mean, can you to Hamau? Or say the government has accepted the size of parliament be capped and we propose a ceiling of 300 members.
Right.
Of these, 276 will be elected directly.
Yes.
In constituency elections like we already have.
Yes.
The remaining 24 will be elected through proportional representation among women,
proportionality,
persons with disabilities, and the youth. An independent study will be commissioned into the design of the proportional representation element.
Fantastic.
Capping parliament saves cost, and the reserved element opens the door of our legislature wider to those our politics has historically kept on the outside.
This is probably the implemented area. You may have to get a new chamber.
Yeah. Question: can maybe someone on say, are we ready? Are we ready?
By all means.
But even on the side of a some proportional representation, say maybe women bit no. People with disability, I don't have a problem. But maybe women bit now. Don't we already have women parliamentarians?
You see, made a mess. Oh my, yeah, political way no. So is Adi be a bayane besadio yen. See, I'm not careful. I ain't do US no. Me dear, say yes. Yan sheye sa independent bank Ghana haye judge for gramo mo even Honorable Collins there judges crack on myself so prefer independent there will be a regime also a baby as we because independent no grenya independence o man hwe we as a come hwe then also that be an argument to let us have laws definite and yes subject to be because you do bia ye be ye niam be nipa beti ase entina o kakra no well abaya
entina say white paper that so there but me sure say modalities ni niam na we ba still no there's an opportunity say clarify niam be nyasa
but ni no ye be wi ase ye ne be to so aba
yes
so aja
say it still remain proposal amendment proposal so I'm sure say parliament
we cry ye be ye friend say
me person me born
referendum ana sure you attach a fence and train provisions ana.
I'm not too sure.
13 normally abano. So far, I think yes because you know presidential term no presidential na call 5 no.
And then go anya entrench.
No parliament dey no sure say entrench.
4 year.
Parliament.
4 year. And entrench clause.
Nipa do no. No, I know dey.
Yeah, entrench.
4 year term.
Okay.
They say we my dear cry. Hey, Charlie.
No, entrench won't be.
They say we say citizens bet me activate
and when I
in the constitution.
I want a bogus cry. Unim dintia. The danger is almost 10% of registered voters. 10%. It can even come from one region.
Lawyer Bediako. Pacho next week that ben I was na peta mbra na ye nin common fasa review.
No,
I think it is important.
No.
See, me bawo. Ye bet say bet to aba. It is important we understand what we are proposing.
Yeah, of course.
Nana, education ne beba. Senti na call parliament. Now, ebi o ho a utimi say straight away on bebogu. They say a citizens na make amendments. Yes, 10%, just 10%. That's why they can come from one region. My
Prof, 5 minutes.
Okay. And I now make shortly on the delegate system. They say the Assembly about transfer Supreme Court in their ruling next week Wednesday. No, ebema both consequential orders and some direction guidelines. Bia, but my fear is even at the parliamentary candidate selection, no say wholesale no. Any the other two presidential candidate selection, no say wholesale no. I can imagine the abuses that may arise if Supreme Court therefore commits the state to finance that particular thing, because you cannot increase the numbers for them. Is it,
Prof? The other challenge here is look, and I make our kind article 33 in here. Directive principles of state policy. There shall always be, there shall be by Yenisika. There be. Chapter 6. Yenisika and Tientiminia. Say, so Casse, as so mine on a sponsor political parties, agent mine Nisika Sam. So mine do baby Nisika. What will we do? Now, me and some you know, may share with Supreme Court. Me person make kind. One. I don't know ye the election of chairman.
If you know the candidate,
and if I see on
why only parliamentary and presidential? I am not getting,
because I won't book on
how do you want to are we saying that? Because
I can also share my view. Okay, what you Prof?
It is not about your view, it is about the views of the law lords.
Because you see,
it's not the law judges.
You see, at this point,
the view of the law lord.
No, but once the judgment is out, no, it's out to express their opinion.
The other thing within 1 year, no, a transition.
Yes, within 1 year.
But you see, near me say within 1 year transition, obia between I and your pedia, and none after 1 year, no. Oh, Baba Casa will be enforced. Unipa no be quaco enforced say me party anye ABCD no. Okoka na muhwe na party no so kasa sani okay. Na me ni ehho akade am de be ade na. Why near betchi na?
I know the Nana have a patch me position on this.
It's not about your position. Money.
Okay.
Prof, I got 2 minutes we mama.
Nana me time no there.
Only on my boy in the constitution. We are very useful aggression.
Enti o de wadaruma sa na akoba ndem me nko menu aba said nam case ni so. Me comment me say she was faced with 78 charges. And they can say if I say counts.
Yeah, different from
charges, right. Say if I say when Timia PNT in the case now and shut down in the properly. My worry is why was the appeal not an opportunity? And I say we should still have an opportunity to have her cross-examined on those counts. Near who say FDA was signing because now you see when Timmy enough responses near there. And I because she was tried in absentia, and there wasn't any proof beyond reasonable doubt. Partly was because she was not there herself to be engaged for whatever a year na court person establishment to be established. Cecilia Waba, when are we going to get that opportunity to maybe reopen the case properly? Because Sabe, a so. Well, near lawyer Penka, former deputy attorney general. Senior Utiena, he sounds extremely convincing, like the way lawyer Simsai also sounds convincing on the cases he is prosecuting. Omunina called the same law school. Do you get it? Until let's have that opportunity, and me brush it over case we so say. Yenya opportunity as simple, you be reopen case in one. For say no, you have to do bar. Now you follow the cases that the counts that were put before her as against. Or no sooner response of the baby. Now, if you have proper termination of the case. Secondly,
so let me help you. Bro. What the court of appeal does?
Oh,
there be answer
lawyer. Answer SEC for.
Oh, there be.
Answer to you. Mira or Kasana mebe muno. Look at the way the temper course. So answer. We are now a
You see what the court of appeal does, and these things are useful. A retrial, a rehearing. It's a record now, more the buy. I see what a court had no more who say, be a court and I'm courting. Now you are saying it's true, they could have ordered say if you almost discharging and ordered for a retrial, they can do that.
Yeah.
But you see, what it is they say she's been convicted. A retrial in the meantime, so when who said so as a state, nothing prevents us, although not on the same count, because I know the subjudicate, but it will be BBT. Tricky. Until I make Ghana 50 there was a procedural error on the part of the then Attorney General for President Mills. So asam na kasa so obi afesika so obi amfesika yankomda but once on grounds of law procedure ya bo if you say out me say nkofa emfestina o ye bibia so ye careful titru so ye state attorney because when we hear near the procedure and bo asem ni gu a baby a we ko bia di pa be ka say ye jai me
very well now I think say a waste of time. On the part of AG so go ahead. I said so because okay. Prof, me pacho. No. Attorney General Neka say. Or say, Tio, we written submission of respondent in answer to appellant's submissions pursuant to leave granted by this honorable court on 1st April 2026. Or say, we wish to bring to the attention of this honorable court that the record of appeal before the court page 1 of 42 no?
Page 1
yes introduction or say we wish to bring to the attention of this honorable court that the record of appeal before the court is not complete. We state that all the exhibits tendered by the prosecution during the trial does not form part of the record. The only documents found as part of the record are some of the documents which formed part of the disclosure done by the prosecution.
And me
person me say Attorney General na detective who say records before court no.
Mr. I have
I did make kind saying all
right gentlemen. Yes, Prof Sarpong.
But
please, you don't have 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to wrap up.
I just have two things to say. One
was the mic no off.
The first thing I make a question. The first thing I make a question. You say what say. Now me person me bisa say. Do people actually abscond from justice? My answer, me answer who say yes. We are told that Furiata is a fugitive of the court or of a law or something. We're absconding from justice. How did they do it? I am of the view that Madam said Nam Temakulo went well, or Kostan Hoyareniade. But the continuous stay there out of the jurisdiction of the country constitutes an abscond from justice. Unless anybody else, and senior lawyer is here, if he can, but not to, but that is my view. People do abscond from justice. In fact, today we are saying that she wasn't around to be heard. No, what's required to go hospital? Say one say I may be wa. Who can hunt in a yanti we do no. You cannot exonerate yourself from say. And my last thing I'm person make a meaning say many age in the time they say court na kasanso a duty to protect themselves from the public impression. Where they near the object. I'm talking about the optics. People read some stories like, oh, Obetria NDC bar no aba. Oba Omube finally appeal. Then eventually she
no, but
acquitted.
appeal was filed in 2024. I told you.
What must I education then? Say appeal was earlier. Appeal was heard.
And there was a preliminary issue.
And today the storyline seems to be fitting. The object may be very, very true on legal grounds on this, on that. Sincerely, let people not play or downplay the effect of the optics. No,
all right. I'm coming.
Lord Lenin, Lord,